On the morning of July 24, the regional media reported that Israeli Air Force fighters had attacked several positions of the Syrian government army at Al-Qunitra telephone Hara in Damascus' peripheral capital, according to the Jerusalem Post. Western intelligence sources say the location of telephone Hara used to be a place where Russia deployed a military radar station for many years but was later taken over by Iran-backed forces. It is known that telephone Hara is the biggest high point in Daraa province overlooking the Golan Plateau, the territory occupied by Israel in 1967 and merged in 1981. The Syrian state news agency on the 24th of July reported that Israeli missiles had hit the strategic base of telephone Hara in the western part of Daraa province and caused some damage. Some other Syrian sources said the second strategic base at the telephone Al-Alama Hill in Al-Qunitra province was also hit by Israeli fighter missiles. The Israeli Air Force attack on this morning, Syrian Air Defense Forces claimed they had made a timely response and shot down at least 2 Israeli missiles, but that was too little and not enough to protect the ground's safety. Weapons that fought in the battle were still just Syrian old air defense missile complexes like S-200 Pantai-SRS-1, Pechora 2M or Buk M2E, while S-300 continued to shut up quiet. This incident occurred shortly after the Russian newspaper Svobodnaya Pressa published a message that implied that, with military cooperation between the country and Israel, the Israeli fighters had nothing to fear S-300 Syria. There are indications that by acquiring Israeli unmanned aircraft technology, Russia has provided source code for export S-300 assemblies so that the Israeli Air Force can bypass them. The Israeli Air Force's latest bombardment also took place immediately after the media admitted the attempt to mistakenly shoot air-to-air missiles of F-16I fighter aircraft into Syria. Specifically, the F-16I was then able to identify a target flying close to the Israeli-occupied Golan Plateau territory, which fired Israel into firing missiles at targets but did not hit the target. Air-to-air missiles continue to fly inertia, fall into Syria-controlled territory and crumble, but do not damage the ground. If the incident was recently done by a Syrian Air Force fighter aircraft, although it would be unintentional, Damascus would surely suffer from reprisals from Israel. However, in the event that happened, Israel simply stopped flying the pilot for a very short time to report and he was returned to the sky. It is predicted that in the near future, when tensions between Iran and other countries continue to increase, the Israeli Air Force will increase the intensity and scope of raids in Syria.